Hey guys, welcome back to Exa Protocol. Today is episode 2 of the Web3 deep dive. Today we will be talking about how Web3 needs data and why data storage scalability is so important across the board. So, let's begin. So, now data scalability is something that has to scale with demand. So for example, if today you are occupying 1 GB of space on your smartphone and tomorrow you need 2 GB of data for the same task, that means you need 1 GB of scalable data to achieve that task in that given period of time. Now this is super crucial because we are using data at the speed of light. So say for example, if you remember and you belong to the smartphone era of the Nokia Symbian operating system times, you will understand that at that point of time, SSD cards used to come at maximum 64 GB and internal memory used to tap out at what, 32 GB? Today, 128 GB is not even considered flagship entry level. Today's smartphones are going into 1 terabyte of data storage and users are being able to use more and more of the onboard storage memory. Now this is happening because the apps we use, the websites we visit, the photos that we take, the videos that we shoot are going up in size considerably. So, for example, today I'm shooting this video at 4K 60. It's a very data intensive task. By the end of the 5 minutes of my recording, my space would have been reduced by 60 to 70 GB depending on the file formats. Today's smartphones are capable of playing AAA titles. Now, those AAA titles demand a minimum of 50 to 60 GB of allocated space on onboard memory. This is completely unheard of. Now imagine Web3 is also going towards the same realm of the Web2 world. Today we have games on the Web3 space that are really data intensive. They are made on the Unreal Engine and that needs a lot of assets to load in the background. Everything that happens with data is happening in the background, and so maybe we take a step back and maybe we do not try and realize how prominent data is in the need of execution. Data is a layer that cannot be ignored. So if I take the example of Web3 in the space right now, you have to understand what we at Exa Protocol are trying to do. Today Web3 is retail oriented focus. So when we talk about the biggest use case that the retail has been experiencing is the NFT marketplaces. But do you know that most of the NFT marketplaces are actually utilizing Amazon Web Services to store their data on a centralized server? That's crazy when you think of it. So for example, your NFT details, your NFT flow price and everything is on chain. That is for sure. But when it comes to the actual image, the JPEG image that you see, that you purchase and use it as a PFP is actually stored on centralized servers. So are we really in the Web3 era? Are we really decentralized? We are not. And that is something that we need to bridge a gap for, because today Web3 data services are not at the same level as what Web2 data counterparts are at. Today Web2 data parts are really scalable in nature, but we as a Web3 ecosystem have fallen really far behind in terms of understanding data solutions. That is what Exa Protocol wants to solve. Exa Protocol makes it really simple. We are trying to uncomplicate the complicated. It's very important that when the demand actually comes in for Web3 services, data should be scalable at the same space, because if there is a differentiation and there is a lag between demand and supply, we have seen what that yields to. It will not be something like Bitcoin where the demand exceeds the supply and there will be a parabola run. No, when it comes to data, if the demand exceeds the supply, there will be only one thing, and that will be a crash in the system, which we do not want at any cost. Now to put things into a perspective, try and understand this. Web3 use cases for the retail folks are increasing. Gone are the days when only developers used to be in this space and operate their code lines and their source codes here. No, today we have DeFi, we have GameFi, we have NFT marketplaces. They are all operating on the Web3 spaces, and you and me, normal retail users, are being able to come and interact with our crypto and be able to have our own native marketplaces that we are transacting on a daily basis. And some of the DApps which we use are actually being used without us even knowing about it. So imagine the amount of data that needs to be there at the back end. So when we try and talk about true decentralization, if even a part of the user services of the DApps that we use and interact with on a daily basis is being hosted on a centralized server, we are still not truly decentralized. That means we are still in Web 2.5. That is a huge downside, because we talk a lot about decentralization, we talk a lot about uptime, we talk about a lot of powers not being centralized in the system and distributed file storage systems. But when it's not being in practice, it's a huge fail for us as an industry and an ecosystem. So once Exa Protocol goes live with its Exa drive, it's going to be a game changer. And don't take my word for it. You can watch our ExaConf linked in the description box below, and you can understand what we're trying to achieve over here. Retail users who have been limited exclusively with a high-powered PC to mine crypto or to interact with DApps, we are bringing that power to smartphone users, and we are doing it without them even consciously knowing about it. Everything happens in the background, and that is the true world and vision that we want to see Web3 achieving. So I hope you have understood how crucial data is in our short deep dive video of Web3 ecosystem, and we will see you in the next one. Till then, peace out.